I've started trail running, so let's talk about the Asics Gel Sonoma 6. Hello fellow geeks and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I am glad that you're here today. Whether this is your first time here or your fifth time here, make sure that you have clicked that subscribe button down below and maybe even ring that bell so that you don't miss any of the great running content that I have coming out all the time. If you've been around here for a while, then you know that not too long ago I was bitten by the trail running bug. And in fact, I have started putting in enough time on the trails that I could finally justify spending money on a pair of dedicated shoes. So I knew that Asics is always my go-to brand for running shoes on the road, and so I thought I would see what they could offer in the way of a trail shoe, and I settled on these, and this is the Asics Gel Sonoma 6. As you can tell already, I've had them about a month or so and we have already been through some things. So let's talk a little bit about the Gel Sonoma. Now, the colorway that I have gotten here is called the Black and Baltic Jewel color. It's a women's 8.5, which has an 8mm drop and weighs 8.5 ounces. These are a neutral and stability shoe, so you can use them whether you're neutral or whether you tend to overpronate, and they have regular cushioning as compared to the ones that I use on the road, which have closer to max cushioning. Now, looking at the differences between the Gel Sonoma 5 and Gel Sonoma 6, this model has made several upgrades on the last model. For one, these have a better fit on the upper, and I could definitely tell there was a very nice fit there. Asics also worked to put more security and strength in the midsole and in the heel, which is very vital for when you are out there on those trails. And they have widened the toe box so that your feet can splay a little more naturally the longer that you are out on the trails. Now, the features of this shoe include the Amplifoam midsole, which is a specific type of technology that Asics has been using in their trail shoes. The Sonoma has greater gel cushioning in the areas that tend to take the greatest amount of impact. That's mostly in the ball of the foot area and back in the heel. There's a solid rubber outsole with a multi-directional grip, as you can see here. And Asics also has the Ortholite sock liner made of more sustainable materials. Asics has been taking great strides in the last few years to use a lot more recyclable or sustainable materials in the creation and production of their shoes in order to make less impact on the environment, which is wonderful. But enough about that. Let's talk about how I felt about the shoe overall. Now, I have taken this shoe on several runs, on some easy trails, on some more technical trails, and on some pretty steep hills, as you can see in my video about the Scorch and Squirrel 11.5 miler, link up here and down in the description if you haven't watched that yet. I've noticed that these are a really good fit straight out of the box, as are most of the things that I have found with Asics. That's one thing that I've always appreciated about this brand, is that there's no type of breaking in period. I can just wear them straight out of the box and they're good to go. I haven't experienced any hot spots or any blisters or anything like that in any of the road shoes or these trail shoes that I've been wearing. Now, these shoes at 8.5 ounces are considerably lighter than the road shoes that I use from Asics, and a lot of that has to do with the cushioning. Obviously, more cushioning is going to equal more weight. So with the lesser cushioning in this, it is noticeably lighter than the road shoes, but if you are going to be going for a long period of time, I'm not sure how well these would stand up. As I've said, the longest I've gone in these is between 12 and 15 miles, and you know, it's not like my feet were just dying by the end, but I'm not sure I would want to try and tackle a 50K in these. There is a good amount of cushioning in them, but I'm not sure if it's enough to really absorb all of the work that my feet are putting in on the trails. However, this is a good short distance and mid distance shoe, and that has been my experience so far. Now I've taken this through several types of surfaces and kind of noticed the reaction to the shoe to the various types of surfaces. I've taken it through water crossings and it's been great through water crossings, but not so great on slick rocks. So while I could get through the water fairly easily, if I tried to step on the slick rocks, there was not really enough grip there. So I did really have to watch myself and make sure that I wasn't going to lose my balance. But after the water crossing, I noticed that the shoe itself was able to expel the water fairly quickly. It was not hanging on to any of it, and I noticed that it dried really quickly. Or at least I didn't notice any moisture or anything like that hanging around longer than it needed to. So it was great at walking through wetter areas and then drying afterwards. I've also noticed that the shoe is particularly good in muddy areas and in some types of gravel. Now, going down a steep downhill in a fairly technical area, there was a little bit of problem with the grip, but in a flat area on gravel and things like that, not so much a problem. A lot of that could just be the runner and not so much the shoes, but there was a little bit of problem with grip on that. And obviously I've run it through all different kinds of dirt and it's great. The traction on it has been wonderful for that. As you can see, there's fairly good lugs on the bottom of the shoe, so you do get that multi-directional grip. It's not one that I would want to try on a super slick surface, such as on ice or anything like that. I'm not sure that it would really go too well in that type of terrain. I'm willing to give it a shot, but from what I've seen from other people's reviews as well, it's not great on ice. It's good on crunchy snow, but not so much on the ice. Overall, I am really happy with these shoes. They have just the right amount of cushion. They are light enough that I am not having to drag my feet along. They dry quickly after water crossings. They work great in the mud, and so far they have stood up to every test that I have put them through. I have put them through quite a bit in the last couple of months, and they are standing up to everything. There's no fraying, no tearing, there's no separation in the sole. It's been just wonderful, and I would definitely consider getting a pair of these again. So let me know what you think. Have you tried running in any of Asics trail shoes? If you're a trail runner, what is your go-to brand when you are looking for trail shoes? If you're not a trail runner, is there something that you would like to ask about trail running to the trail runners in the comments? Why don't you let me know all of this down below? Make sure that you comment and give this video a big thumbs up. Both of those things really do help out the channel a lot. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are going to be down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and I can't wait to see you next time. Happy running!